Warning: the following podcast contains adult language and childish comedy. Listener discretion is advised. And now, please adjust your headphone volume to an unreasonable level and enjoy the most dynamic and electrifyingly entertaining podcast ever to conquer cyberspace. This is
Amish Baby Machine.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the most powerful podcast ever created, the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast starring me, Dags. And now, across this powerful oaken desk, is the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Rez.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. If you call the Ghostbusters, then they're in control.
God, Ghostbusters. Everyone loves the Ghostbusters. No one loves the chick version, though, I don't think.
It wasn't too bad.
Did you see it?
I did. It reminded me a lot of Scooby-Doo with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Wow, why is that?
Yeah, I think the CGI was the same. Might have been the same people.
Ugh.
Yeah, and that CGI was horrible. I don't know if you saw that Scooby-Doo.
Not a big fan of CGI.
No, me either. That's why
Powerful.
I've avoided some of the Spider-Man movies because of CGI.
You know, they didn't bother me too much.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't like CGI, but the CGI Spider-Man didn't bother you.
But here's the thing with CGI. If it looks like CGI, it bothers me. But if it's well done, like Game of Thrones, it was well done, so it didn't bother me. I guess if it sticks out, there's certain things in CGI they still can't do well. Smoke, ice, water, they're getting really good at that.
Yep.
But smoke and ice still look kind of fakey.
Yeah. The King Kong looked real. I mean,
he looked like a real ape.
Yeah, I believed that it was a giant gorilla running around an island.
Powerful. We have a powerful show today. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for downloading, my friends. What do we got on the agenda tonight on the powerful Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast?
Oh, man. Let's see. What do we have? We have our beer review, which is, a staple of the show. The beer nerds love it. So we're going to talk about that.
Powerful.
We have a song of the day by the one and only Gordon Lightfoot. Because the Gordon Lightfoot nerds love it.
Yes. Who's more powerful, the beer nerds or the Gordon Lightfoot nerds?
It would have to be the beer nerds. I think the Gordon Lightfoot nerds are really old right now. And then our main topic of the day, Dags, UFOs.
UFOs.
Yes. I'm scared. And just want to let the flock know we will not be doing any toilet humor. And we will not make any references to Uranus.
Wow.
So everybody knows that aliens are from Neptune.
Did you write that down?
No.
Wow, that was just powerful ad lib.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Powerful.
That's what we do here on Amish Baby Machine.
Yes, the most powerful podcast ever created.
Yes, sir. First off, how have you been? We're a little late on this episode. We just want to let the flock know.
Yes, powerful circumstances beyond our control.
Yes.
I think it was another EMP attack.
Always is.
Yeah, we successfully defended ourselves.
Let's get into the show, because that's what the flock wants.
They do. Powerful show today.
That's what they need.
Another hot box. We're in the barn. It's hot again.
The AC in the barn is good until we have to start recording.
Yes.
And
powerful.
Then the hot box starts.
Yes.
For the beer review this week, now you had your passion fruits and you had your sours.
I did.
And you had your strawberries and your peaches.
Whoa.
Sounds like a song.
Yes.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for me.
Yes. Powerful presidents of the United States.
Mm-hmm. Today, it's my turn.
It is your turn.
To give a beer review. Now,
yes.
I've kind of loaded up on some beer reviews because you were taking a long time to get through your sours and your passion fruits. Passion fruit's good. So I drank some beer. Some of the beer I drank was from a local brewery, once again, Fair State Co-op, which you can find them at fairstate.coop online. And the beer that I enjoyed from them is their Pils beer, Pils.
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 Is that different from a Pilsner?
Yeah, it's a Pilsner. It's just the name they give it.
Pills.
Pils. So it's a German-style Pilsner.
Yeah.
And it's got a grassy hop aroma with a crisp finish, and I can say yes, that is true. Grassy hop aroma with the crisp finish, almost like eating an apple.
Whoa.
Yeah, don't ask me to go on that.
Like a honey delish or what is it, honey crisp? That's honey crisp. Is that the ultimate?
No, there's a new one out there. Jazz, I think is what it's called. It's
Jazz hands
hybrid.
or cosmic.
Yeah, something
cosmic
like that.
apple.
Yeah. Have you ever had a grapple?
Yeah, I have.
Well, what are your thoughts on the grapple?
I enjoy the grapple. It's a powerful wrestling apple. Grape and apple flavor.
Yes. Don't let it get you on the mat, though.
No, grappling hook.
Yep.
That's a cool weapon, isn't it? Or it's not really a weapon. It's a tool. It's a device.
You can use it for many things.
The grappling hook.
Yep. Climbing walls.
Batman is big into the grappling hook. The bat hook.
The bat hook. You can climb buildings with that damn thing.
Yes. Remember the TV show? They were just walking and the camera was just sideways.
Yeah.
And then famous people back in the day would stick their head out.
Yeah.
The Caped Crusader.
Yeah. Speaking of CGI, they need to start doing special effects like that where they just tilt the camera one way.
Yes.
And then have the actors act.
Powerful, practical effects.
All right. So here's some fun facts on Pils. The Pils is head brewer Nico Tonk's Desert Island beer. I'm assuming that's the beer he would want if he was stranded on a desert island. That's what I'm getting. That's pretty much all the see. I'm just going to show you. That's all the information they give you.
Thank you for showing me.
Yeah, it's 4.9% alcohol by volume, and the IBUs are a lot higher than you would like. It's 40. I believe the highest IBU in any of the beers you shared was 18. So it's not going to be your. I was going to say cup of tea, but I'll say your mug of beer.
It's very hoppy.
It is hoppy. It's crisp, flavorful.
Yes, crisp finish.
It's available year-round.
Crispin Glover finish.
Mm-hmm. The malts they use, Bohemian.
Bohemian those are my favorite types of hops.
Yeah, I think
powerful Rhapsody.
Yeah, well, you just stole my joke.
Did you write that one down too?
Sometimes I practice these things, and you stole it. So.
I had a powerful joke I was trying to do on the intro.
Yeah, how many times did we have to start the intro over? It's a behind-the-scenes
powerful.
Look. I think the flock enjoy the behind-the-scenes look.
Yes.
So there you go. There's my beer review. Out of 5 pint glasses, I'll give it a 3.5.
Just an average beer to you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no frills, no thrills, no extra this or that.
But there's pills.
There's definitely pills.
Powerful.
Yes.
One more time, what is the name of that powerful beer?
Pills.
Pills. That's the name.
Fair State Co-op.
Wow.
Check it out if you're in Minnesota.
Fair State Co-op.
Yes.
Sounds very non-threatening. Sounds like they would have a community garden and clean up streets and stuff.
They might.
Yes.
Actually. Yeah, I got a friend that works for them in the marketing department.
Yes.
I'll ask him.
Does everyone have gray beards?
He does have a beard.
Is it going
I'm
gray?
sure it's going gray because he's our age.
Powerful. Thank you for
Yes.
that powerful beer review.
I do what I can.
Now, today's episode, you chose a lot of the things. You chose the beer.
Yep.
And you also chose Song of the Day.
Right. Correct. Song of the day. So we discussed a little bit of Gordon Lightfoot on the last episode. And I know the flock remember because the flock never forget. So I decided that we were going to dig deep and talk about a song from Gordon Lightfoot that's probably not one of his most familiar tunes for the person looking on the outside in on the Gordon Lightfoot career. And the song I chose was High and Dry by Gordon Lightfoot.
Now tell us about High and Dry. Why did you pick that powerful tune?
Because it's one of his more rockin' tunes. So it's like electric 12-string guitar.
Electric 12-string guitar.
I don't know if it's an electric 12-string, but there's electric guitar in it.
What kind of bullshit are you saying? Do you even know what this song's about?
Yeah, it's about being high and dry.
Right.
Yeah.
High and Dry.
Yeah. There's a woman singing in it.
High and dry, legend lives on Carefree Highway.
Yeah.
That's
So
my powerful Gordon Lightfoot impersonation. Does anyone listening even know who Gordon Lightfoot is?
I should hope so.
Yes.
Otherwise, we're talking and they're tuning out. Gordon Lightfoot's still touring, by the way.
He's still alive? Cool.
55 years he's been touring.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think he's changed the name of his tour at all.
What is it called? Still Kicking or what?
It was when he just came out, it was like 55 years on the Carefree Highway. And I think all of his tours have been called the Carefree Highway Tour. So not very creative with the names, but he's still alive and kicking. He did have that brush of death when he had that aneurysm.
Oh, wow. He had an aneurysm.
Abdominal aneurysm back in the 70s.
What do you think the backstage parties are like?
Now?
Mega groupies?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's definitely a groupie man.
He's a man. He's the machine.
Yeah, and you and I both saw him in concert.
Yes.
So, and I don't know, I can't remember when you saw him, but when I saw him, he was a frail old man. If you didn't know the words of the song, you were not knowing what song he was singing. And to take a drink of water, he would lean over, put water in his mouth, and then throw his head back as far as he could.
Wow.
Just to get the water down.
That reminds me of when I saw a flock of seagulls after their heyday. And the guitarist is back there and he's shaking and puffing on his inhaler. And I'm like, come on.
Party on.
I ran out of breath. Couldn't get my inhaler. Powerful. What's the rating on that powerful song?
The rating, my rating or people's rating, like how far? Like,
we don't care about the people. We care about you.
Okay. I would give it, out of 5 12-string guitars, I would give it a 4.5.
You love that song.
I do love that song. It's on the Sundown album. And it's one that a lot of people probably skip over to get to Sundown. So I say stop on High and Dry. Listen to High and Dry.
Put it in your rotation.
Yeah. Me oh my. Stop on High and Dry.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have an old soul.
I do. I like Gordon Lightfoot. I watch reruns of Bob Ross painting. And yeah. I think that's I ran out of stuff to say.
Powerful. Thank you for that song of the day.
You're welcome. The flock will thank me too.
Yes, we love the flock. Thanks for listening. I hope you're having a good time tonight. Today's powerful episode is going to be about evil aliens, alien abduction.
But before we do that, you want to cheers everybody?
Yes, let's have I purchased a energy drink for you there. What do you got?
You did. Okay, so this is becoming one of my favorite parts when I tell you what's written on the can of these energy drinks. So today I have Bang Blue Raz. I can taste all of the Raz in the blue Raz.
Blue raspberry is the ultimate flavor. I love blue raspberry.
Yeah, this one has super creatine, not that weak ass creatine that's out there. And EAA aminos. Oh, and then ultra CoQ10.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Yeah, now
it's good for the heart.
Do you like super CoQ10 or ultra CoQ10?
I'm usually into the ultra CoQ10.
Right.
I do enjoy the creatine monohydrate. Great news. That reminds me, great news for the state of Minnesota. Powerful gyms are opening back up.
Yes.
So I'm going to be able to hang and bang and get back into it. God, I'm just pumped up looking at that can right now.
Yeah, it says Bang on it.
Yes.
It says Bang all over
Hanging and banging.
It's a potent brain and body fuel.
Yes.
Make no mistake, Dags. Bang is not your stereotypical high-sugar, life-sucking soda masquerading as an energy drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hold that up. Let me look at that.
All right. Here, look at that.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Let's say 18 plus on the back.
Who cares what it says?
All right.
Just drink it. Take a drink right now.
All right. Hold on.
Big drink. He's drinking right now. Oh, my God. Look at that.
Oh, smooth.
Yeah. Isn't that powerful?
I'm telling you, it's taking my breath away.
How is the creatine monohydrate? Do you feel it?
I can. It's
Yes.
coursing through the veins.
Oh,
It's going
powerful drink.
past the elbow.
Out of 5 passion fruit. No, we don't. For energy drinks, I got to come up with something. Out of 5 depleted uranium shells, what is it?
Oh, God, that's definitely a 4.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you for enjoying that. And thank you. Well, you got to do a cheers to drink it and tell the. We forgot the cheers last episode.
We did, so we got to do it now.
Hold up your drink, hold up your beverage. I'm holding up my, I already had my energy drinks. I'm holding up my powerful Dasani Italian water. Cheers.
Cheers. On.
Oh, he's having another drink.
You gotta slam it.
Yes.
That way it kicks in later.
What's the motto on Full Throttle? Isn't it like easy drinking and some cold slamming and
yeah, I don't slamming and banging.
Wham, bam, banging. And there's a lot of slamming and banging. And
yeah, what's up with energy drinks and their violent tendencies?
I think it's more about sex. It makes you horny.
Oh, you got to wear a mask now.
Yes.
When you're having sex.
Yes, you got to be real fetishy and wearing masks and powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, who's the CDC to tell me what my kink is?
Oh, I know. It's so stupid. CDC and
yeah.
Powerful. Thank you guys for listening. Powerful episode today, Alien Abduction. I want to thank everyone that listens. Please do us a favor. Please leave us a review. Wherever you listen to this powerful podcast, Apple, Stitcher, Podbean. We're literally everywhere, every app, YouTube. Please leave a review. 5-star review is the highest. If you leave a 5-star review, you will unlock the secrets to energy drinks. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. And also we have powerful merch. We're dealing with a computer here that's on its last legs.
It's a piece of crap.
It is. It's a piece of shit computer. And there's powerful ways you can help us. Please buy our merch. AmishBabyMachine.com. Powerful links there. Or if you follow us, make sure you follow us on Twitter at AmishBMachine. I got links there too for our merch. We have t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, whatever you need. We do have the masks too.
Yep.
They sell out quickly, so
yeah, you got to get there early.
Order early or order often for our powerful masks. Also, patreon.com is another way you can support this powerful podcast. We love you, and thanks for listening to us. Now, Mike Rez, let's get into the subject, the topic of today's show.
Yeah.
Alien abductions.
Yeah, this is going to be a scary episode for the flock. I know you guys can handle it, but this is not an episode for the weak of heart. So just buckle up and let's get into this.
Well, let's just say everyone that listens to the show, they're powerful.
Right.
Yes.
And by listening to this part of the episode, it might make you more susceptible to an alien abduction because we all know that they're listening. So let's first talk about what the hell is an alien abduction, Dags?
Tell us.
All right. Well, sometimes, they're called, and you and I know this, and the flock know this, so this is for the flock to tell their friends. Sometimes they're called abduction phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Alien abduction.
You're supposed to say phenomena.
Oh, phenomena.
All right.
Yeah,
Fucked it up. All right. Go ahead.
Alien abduction syndrome or UFO abduction.
Yes.
It's all the same thing. I mean, and we all know that. So, but what it is, it's a personally held belief in which the person who thinks they're abducted describes what they say is a real experience of being secretly kidnapped by a non-human entity, or aliens in this case.
The Greys.
Subject to physical and psychological experimentation. Now, mostly this involves being examined, your genitals being examined, probes happening. I don't know what that's all about, but these aliens are perverts.
Yes.
So
do they wear masks?
I bet they don't. Just spreading their.
You know, my joke that I was going to do in the intro was that you had a strange obsession with Minotaur porn. That was it. I was going to say Minotaur erotica, Minotaur porn, but we just want you to know that Mike Rez has an unhealthy and unnatural obsession with Minotaur porn. All right, carry on.
All right. I thought that was secret, but guess not anymore. These exams are also followed up by psychological experiments as well. Supposedly, that's what a lot of these stories go. But a lot of them have also decided that a lot of these aliens look alike. So that's why a lot of skeptics believe that a lot of these alien abduction stories are just people reliving what other people have said in the past. It also could be, factors that could suggest alien abduction could be false memory syndrome, which I've never heard of, sleep paralysis, deception, and psychopathology.
Interesting.
Yes. So I don't know what you know about sleep paralysis. I've never experienced sleep paralysis. I've experienced other paralysis, but not sleep paralysis. But that's a little strange to me, the sleep paralysis.
Mike, what are you doing in there? Are you pitching a tent? No, it's my flashlight, Mom.
Leave me alone. I got paralysis. So that is pretty much the overview of abductions. I mean, there's a lot of skeptics out there. Now, there are some early cases or early, I guess you could say cases of alien abduction. Some of them go back to 1851.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's
Like on Little House on the Prairie?
I think even further than
A
that.
very special episode
Yeah.
where Pa Ingalls gets abducted.
Yeah, Lord, Ma, where's Pa? I think the Greys got him again.
Oh my God. Powerful episode today. Aliens. Who doesn't love aliens?
I know I do, in case they're listening. I love aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope they inspect you and not me.
Whoa.
Is that out loud?
Yes.
So we're going to get into some of the, one that we probably all know, the flock probably heard of. That's the Fire in the Sky one, Travis Walton. He's got the more famous one because his was made into a movie, his abduction. But the story that everybody thinks that he got his story from, that gave him the idea for his story, goes back to 1961. And that would be the married couple of Betty and Barney Hill.
Whoa. Set
Yeah.
the story, set the stage for the powerful Betty and Barney Rubble story.
All right.
I'm sorry. What was it? Barney Rubble?
Barney Rubble and Betty Rubble.
The Hills?
The Hills.
The Hills are alive with the sound of powerful UFOs.
That's right. We researched a couple of different websites for this story. Actually, for all of these stories. This one is from history.com. This is one of the first ones I found. According to history.com and according to the Hills, they went on vacation. Kind of a last-minute vacation, depending on which website you're looking at.
Let's go with that story right there.
Okay.
I want you to, powerful, where is that from?
All right. So
History.com?
History.com. Yep.
Okay.
So,
And tell us the beginning. I want to know the story of these two
okay.
from start to finish.
So Betty and Barney Hill, they were a married couple who worked very long hours throughout the day. They had a lot of stuff going on. They both worked. Barney Hill was a civil rights activist, and so was Betty. They were an interracial couple that really didn't have a lot of time for their married life, and so they got married, decided they were going to go on a late honeymoon to the hills of New Hampshire in the White Mountains in September. So on their way back home, they decided they were going to just drive all the way through. So they left their vacation spot at 10:30 at night, expected to be home by about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to their house. As they got closer to their home, driving down the windy road, because that's how most of these stories happen. It's always in the middle of nowhere. And they saw a strange light in the sky that they thought was following them. So as they're driving along, Betty is noticing that these lights still seem to be following them. Barney pulls over, and they inspect where these lights are coming from and notice that there is a spacecraft hovering just above the hill. And that's where things kind of get tricky, because they don't really remember going home after that, but that's where they wake up.
Now I want to back up a little bit. They were working and they just decided to go on a last minute vacation.
Yeah, kind of like a late last minute honeymoon, because they never went on one when they got married.
So just out of the blue, they're going to go on.
Yeah, just out of the blue, they're going to go.
So what do you think about that?
That's a little strange
Yes.
to me. Why you decide to go at the last minute and then, all of a sudden we're abducted. So that's a flag right there. Red flag. So they get home, kind of come to, I guess you could say, and realize they don't remember coming home. They don't remember unloading their car. Barney's got scuffed shoes, and Betty, for some reason, feels like she has to inspect her own body because for some reason, she feels like she has to check out her body and see what the hell's going on, even though they don't really know why they're doing what they're doing. After all that, they decide that they need to find out what happened. So they go see a psychiatrist. And back then, the hypnosis was a big new thing. So the psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever he is, decides he's going to hypnotize, find out what's going on. So after they get hypnotized, their story starts to become a little more clearer to them and what happened. So on the last night of their 3-day trip, the couple sipped some coffee in Vermont, decided to leave. As they drove, the strange light in the sky gave another reason to hurry up. It first looked like a falling star to them, but grew larger and brighter for each mile. Barney, an avid plane watcher and World War II vet, was sure that they had nothing to worry about. It's just a satellite. That's what he assured Betty. And it probably went off course. The light seemed to move as the car moved, and as Barney steered down the curving mountain road, the light zigged and zagged, ducking past the moon and behind trees and mountain ridges, only to reappear moments later. Curiosity overcame them, and the couple pulled over at road stops and picnic turnouts to get a closer look. Through binoculars, Betty saw that a white light was really an object spinning in the air. Barney knew she was right. For some reason, it throws in his IQ of 140, I guess, to prove that he's not an idiot of some kind. Doesn't mean he's not capable of making up a story, though. Barney also was a pragmatic man who wouldn't have given flying saucers a second thought, according to his niece. About 70 miles past the diner, the object hovered just above the treetops, approximately 100 feet above them. Barney abruptly stopped the car, keeping the engine running. He shoved a handgun he had hidden beneath the seat into his pocket and rushed into a dark field, leaving Betty in the car. Would you run towards an object floating in the air?
No, that's the other thing, too, that I thought was so weird, because I'm obviously powerfully familiar with this story, too.
Right.
That he has a gun, he grabs the gun. If you're afraid of this UFO, why would you run out there?
Right. And if you think it's a satellite, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Shoot it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to...
So he runs out there with a handgun.
And what he saw was, what he says is as big as a jet, it is round and as flat as a pancake, which is another typical way to describe
flying
UFOs.
saucer.
Yeah. So behind the rows of windows, which is, I guess, something that they saw, they also saw gray uniformed beings. Seemed to look right at him, Barney recalled.
They're in uniform.
They're in uniform. I don't know. I'm guessing like the blue uniform that I have for work, the blue shirt and the...
Oh, they had the
dungarees.
cool name tag on there too?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it stitched in?
It has to be stitched in.
Yes.
Yeah. Bleep and bloop.
Powerful.
Yeah. He tried to lift his hand with his pistol, but somehow couldn't. A voice told him to put down his binoculars. Not the pistol, but the binoculars.
So wait, he had binoculars on him too?
Yeah, it didn't say that anywhere in the story till just now.
So he's armed with a handgun and binoculars.
Yeah. You throw the binoculars and then you shoot one round and then you run away. That's what you do. He had a startling thought that they were about to be captured.
I'm thinking maybe these were barnoculars, the ones where you unscrew and you just fill them up with booze.
Oh, there you go. Like little flasks.
Yes, barnoculars.
What would you put in your barnoculars?
I would put in Blue Raz Bang.
That's a good
and a
call.
little Absolute vodka.
A little bit. I'd put a gin and tonic in there.
Yes, supersonic gin and tonic.
Mm-hmm. So he thought they were going to be captured. Yelling hysterically, he ran back to the car and barreled down the road as Betty tracked the craft. I'm imagining her with like maps out and dials and stuff, like the old way you do it on a ship.
So she was keeping an eye on the unidentified flying saucer while he's driving full blast down the road.
Full blast down the road. So
pedal to the metal.
Yep. And she's tracking this thing, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a loud rhythmic beep started from the car's trunk.
The car they're driving in started
singing.
beeping like a cool synthwave beep.
Yep. They felt instantly drowsy and then lost consciousness.
Wow.
Yeah. I know sometimes vibrations and sounds can do that, but...
Good vibrations, yes.
That's a weird way to abduct somebody. They came around about 2 hours later, 35 miles down the road. All right, so if you go to history.com and look them up, you can see the drawings. I'll show you, Degs.
Thank you.
That's the drawings that Betty drew under hypnosis.
Yes.
And it does look like a pancake with, I guess those stick figures would be the little gray men in uniform staring back at them.
Okay. They went under hypnosis.
Yep.
And that's when they could recall the actual story.
Right. Yeah. And Betty started having dreams as well. Some pretty vivid dreams about being examined by these gray men. And Barney, like I said, Barney was examined. His genitals were examined. They also apparently took out his dentures and were super excited that his teeth could be removed.
Wow.
Betty actually, it says in the story that Betty thought that was actually kind of humorous, that they were really excited that his teeth could be removed.
Whoa. Said
Yeah.
something about a gummy. Okay, go on.
Yeah, and apparently they gave him back to him because he still had them when he woke up. So they were nice aliens stealing people's teeth and replacing them for them. So that was nice. After their story kind of hit the news, they made a movie out of this abduction, and James Earl Jones was in it. He played Barney Hill, and that was at the time the most detailed abduction in the United States. On alien abduction. And that's another thing that I learned during this research. A lot of the alien abduction stories come from the United States. So these aliens are picking on us and only abducting Americans.
So they said they went on a last-minute vacation.
Yep.
They both worked a full week, and they just left right after work to go on vacation.
Mm-hmm. With a pistol.
And binoculars.
And binoculars.
And the reason you mentioned that they were interracial, the reason that is a point is because back then a lot of people think that maybe they were trying to raise awareness of civil rights. They were both civil rights workers.
Correct.
So maybe that this story would shine some light on it.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the reasonings behind what people thought they were coming up with this story to shine the light on the civil rights movement back then. They thought maybe because they weren't getting, the attention they needed for their civil rights movement, so they wanted to come up with this story to bring that to light. So that's one thing that people think why they made this story up, and that's why I said they tell you about his IQ. In the history.com story, I think, to show you that he's not, why would he make it up? His IQ is 140. Well, that's people can still make up stories, no matter how smart they are. So that is one of the stories we have. Betty also says that she communicated telepathically with the leader of the spaceship as well.
And she wasn't afraid of the leader.
She wasn't afraid of the leader. It says here that she wasn't too afraid of the whole ordeal, which I think I would be shitting my pants. And they would be examining my
Yes, and
feces.
her sister had a similar experience seeing a UFO.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she heard that story, and a lot of people think she just made up this bullshit story.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, it's not too far off from some of the stories that people were hearing from some of the alien abductions in the 1950s. There was a couple in the 1950s that made the news. And these stories, they heard their story is a little similar to what the other abductions were. So they were already starting to repeat what other people have already said about abductions.
And in that area, there was also a beacon light, searchlight from a nearby airport, correct? That people thought that
Correct.
what they were seeing.
Yeah. So they had a lot of things that were easily explained. I think it's based on this story. It seems like it would be pretty easy back then to just tell people you were abducted by aliens.
And they think this story is what Travis Walton based his story on?
Correct. So Travis Walton and the flock will know Fire in the Sky. So the movie Fire in the Sky was based on Travis Walton's experience of being abducted.
Now tell everyone about that.
So Travis Walton, and of course, so his story, it's funny, one of the I think it's Gia.com, GAIA.com. Pretty much says that his story was so boring to Hollywood doctored it up a little bit.
They had to punch up the story,
They
the
did.
screenplay.
Yeah, so in the movie Fire in the Sky, spoiler alert, there's a part where the Travis Walton in that movie, when they start showing what happened to him on the spacecraft, when he gets tied down with that big giant cellophane or whatever, that rubber membrane, and then they pop a hole in the mouth and then throw a bunch of jelly in his mouth and he's screaming and yelling. So that never happened to the real Travis Walton, but that's how Hollywood dressed it
That
up.
didn't happen to his fake story.
No. All right, so let's get into Travis Walton. When Travis was 22 years old, he was working as a logger in central Arizona in the Apache Setagreves National Forest. And while driving home one evening, Walton and his coworkers came across a hovering disc-shaped object that drew him closer to get a better look. What soon became known as the Travis Walton UFO incident.
Yes.
So Walton jumps out of the truck and approached the flying object against the will of his colleagues. When he got within a close proximity, he was struck with a jolt of energy that threw him back 20 feet through the air, knocking him unconscious and scaring off his friends. Walton allegedly woke up laying in a gurney in what he thought was a hospital emergency room. His chest was heavy and his vision was blurry, and he struggled to gather his bearings and figure out where he was. But when he focused his line of sight, he found a trio of ETs wearing orange surgical gowns staring at him with luminous brown eyes the size of quarters. So convicts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I mean, they got orange jumpsuits on or surgical gowns. Walton disappeared for nearly a week before he just turned up in Snowflake, Arizona, traumatized and bewildered by the chain of events that he experienced. So this is one of the most famous cases in the annals or annals of ufology and abduction. The story is also one of the more highly contentious cases in a realm that has had its fair share of attention seekers and frauds. After Walton returned, he and his 6 coworkers who supposedly witnessed his abduction submitted to a battery of psychiatric and polygraph test lie detectors, many of which they voluntarily subjected themselves to. Walton himself has since taken 16 different lie detector tests, including one on the popular Fox game show called The Moment of Truth. You remember that one?
I do.
Yeah, I don't remember that game show. So, do you remember seeing him on it?
No. I mean, I'd have to pull it up on YouTube.
Sure. So after being asked a series of questions regarding his life and UFO experience, Walton was blatantly asked if he was ever abducted by aliens on November 5th, 1975, upon which he replied a resounding yes after a dramatic pause. The game show's android voice responded that answer is false, claiming he was lying.
Whoa, he wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah, according to the Fox game show Moment of Truth, it said he was lying. So the game show's polygraph methods were highly dubious and have since been called out as having almost no legitimacy. So somebody came out and said that show sucks and that their lie detectors were pieces of shit and didn't matter. Walton said he initially turned down the show's offer to have him on as a contestant, but conceded that he had recently been laid off from his job and needed the money. I mean, who hasn't done stuff for money? Walton continued to tell his story for the past 43 years. So he's still telling his story now. He's still alive, and he's still making appearances at UFO conventions without discrepancies. But I did hear that one of his lie detector tests, when he first came back inconsistent because of some of the pauses and the things he did. He was taking a lot of deep breaths before he answered questions.
So, like, he knew how to fake,
right?
How to beat the test.
Yeah, he was calming himself down before he told a lie. Walton points out that his best evidence in supporting his case, saying that the odds of 5 men fooling a polygraph test on the same subject are 1,000,000 to 1, citing the president of the American Polygraph Association. Only one member of the group didn't pass, but his test was marked inconclusive. So about the Fire in the Sky movie, Walton has wondered if he may have been killed that night when he was struck by the UFO's bolt of energy, he says he believes it's possible. He was unintentionally shocked by energy, and at the result of the craft's propulsion system, realizing he had been killed, the extraterrestrial entities may have brought him on board the craft to resuscitate him.
So if the Barney and Betty, their story was to get coverage of their civil rights work, that's what some people think, that's why they did it.
Right.
What was the reason for Travis Walton? What did they think, him and his friends? Why would they all make up that story?
So they think it was a money grab for all of them. Even though Travis Walton and one of the other loggers didn't really get along. And actually, if you read the one excerpt on his traviswalton.com, where you can read the first page, it's travis-walton.com. You can read the first page of his book, the Travis Walton Abduction, I think. I think actually he might have changed the name to Fire in the Sky now. It says that one of the other people he worked with intentionally tried to, I'm going to use the logging term, fell a tree near him. So it cut down a tree and it landed next to him. And he thinks that guy did it on purpose. Apparently there was some kind of contention between these two guys. They didn't really like each other. So that was one of the reasons why they thought that they murdered him, was because these two didn't get along. But ultimately, when he came back, they think that they all were just looking to get their name out there and get a story out there and try to make some money. And these guys are still out there. They just, I don't know how old the documentary is, but the documentary looks pretty new. I think it's within the last 5 years, where they did the documentary. I think 3 or 4 of the loggers are in it. And you have to buy that DVD in order to see the documentary. They're not going to air that on TV. If you want to see it, you have to buy it. So, and then the same with the story of the book. You have to buy the book. They give you the one page to read, the first page. When you get to the bottom, it says, to read more, send us money. So, and he's still making appearances at UFO conventions, like we mentioned, which he's getting paid to do. And I think at one point he tried to do his own UFO convention that didn't get off the ground.
So what are your thoughts on both of these stories?
I think it's bullshit.
Both of them.
Both of them. Yeah. I'm not, I don't know. I don't think aliens are coming down and abducting people. Why would they abduct us? What do you think?
People are definitely seeing things in the sky.
Sure.
When it comes to, especially now with drones and skunk works and all these special, ever since World War II, there's been an explosion of aircraft, and the one thing, it's really weird because they always, they have the Project Blue Book, the UFO Air Force. They always try to explain everything away and say, oh, it's just a weather balloon.
Yeah.
So that's what bothers me. People are actually seeing things. As far as abductions, that's the other thing too. That could be totally bullshit. But I think people are actually seeing crafts. But then, they want to say it's weather phenomena. They want to say it's this or that. There's that famous story, of the pilots seeing those UFOs.
Yeah, we just had the Pentagon just released a bunch of videos.
Correct.
Yeah.
So something is definitely going on.
Right.
The abductions, though, anyone can make a bullshit story.
Yeah.
And then so there was in the 50s, all the 50s movies about UFOs.
Right.
So then people, like the Betty, she said her sister saw a UFO, so they tell a story, and then Travis Walton adds on.
Yeah. And that was the other thing, is a lot of the descriptions of the aliens that these people that are getting abducted see are just like what Hollywood is telling you what they look like. So
the Greys?
The Greys, yeah. So there's a lot of suggestion that started with that to begin with, and now the people are adding on to the stories. And, is there alien life out there? Sure, why not? There could be. I don't think they're abducting anybody, though, but obviously they want to be seen, or they're kind of curious to see what the hell we're doing over here. But,
yeah, the whole story, like, with Betty and Barney, the whole thing was weird. Like, they went on a last-minute vacation. and they were sleep deprived. And
Yeah.
they didn't really remember it. They only remembered it after they were hypnotized.
Yeah, which that gives you enough time to build up a subconscious lie. So if you get hypnotized, I mean, who's to say you're just not repeating the lie you've been telling yourself over and over again? And I think you and I had that discussion with this Travis Walton. He's been telling this story for 43 years now. So maybe he believes it because he's been telling the lie for so long.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. What do you think about Area 51?
What about it?
Should we storm it?
No.
Do you think they're hiding alien spacecraft and bodies there?
Wow. We're going to have to bring that up on another show, because that's a whole nother show, getting into Area 51.
You think
And what
we
happened.
should bring it up? I mean, they might be listening.
Yes. Now, there's definitely something going on with craft. There's definitely people seeing things.
Right.
They're not all weather balloons.
Are you sure?
Yes, positive. They're out there.
Well, if the government's listening, I believe they're weather balloons.
Yes.
If the government's not listening, they're not weather balloons.
Powerful. Thank you for that powerful report on UFO abduction. Great show.
Do you think the flock might have ideas on what else we should research?
Yes. Let us know, fans, Flock of Amish. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Amish Bee Machine. I'm on there 24/7. Let me know. What would you like to hear about on this powerful show? We hope you had a good time tonight. We just ask you one thing. Please tell a friend about our powerful podcast. And we're going to wrap up tonight's episode with powerful shout-outs. Do you want to do the shout-outs, my friend?
Sure, you want to hand me the list?
Yes, I'm handing you the powerful list.
Is that so you don't have to put on your old man glasses?
I can kill you from here.
I believe it.
Yes.
All right. So our powerful shout-outs go to Nerds with Friends. Love them. Fulgrim. Love them. Stories from a Virtual Bar. Love them. Big-haired girl. Love her. Shalita Brundage? We're going to go with that, right? Love her. Hind Oak Comics.
Powerful.
Love them. I love them all.
Thank you for the shout-outs.
I apologize to anybody whose name I screwed up, but I love you.
It's the thought that counts.
Right?
My friends, thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for downloading. And until next time, you've just enjoyed the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Amish Baby Machine Pop Culture Podcast. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else fine podcasts are found. Please support our podcast through Patreon and shop our merch at AmishBabyMachine.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This has been an Amish Baby Machine production.